overnight with confirmation that the chain is expected to have the capability to accept Bitcoin as a payment by the end of the year. Meanwhile, online brokerage Robinhood also up overnight by about 3%, but that stock has been on a roller coaster ride since its debut about 2 weeks ago. The stock now sitting well above the IPO price of $38. Well, let's keep talking meme stocks right now. Joshua White is Assistant Professor of Finance at the Vanderbilt University, joining us now from Nashville, Tennessee. Talk to us firstly about why some of these meme names are so hot for people out there that haven't really been following it but have been seeing these daily moves. A lot of these companies not necessarily in a strong financial position. So help us unpack why we are seeing such stratospheric performances when it comes to some of these names.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. So I think, first of all, we've seen this emergence of a sort of new type of retail investor. And, it really reflects what we think are the life experiences of Gen Z and millennials. They're tech savvy, they're comfortable in gathering in these online forums. They grew up gaming, they like the game like aspects of investing, but they also experienced sort of the Great Recession. So they're skeptical of financial institutions. And so they were able to adopt these technologies that lowered their trading costs. And also use social media platforms to coordinate, through Twitter or through Reddit or Discord. And so they were able to take on some of these perhaps institutions like short sellers in stocks that they like. And in particular, like you said, there's these meme stocks. And so AMC, like GameStop, it has this aspect. It's a recognizable company. Maybe is facing some economic headwinds from the pandemic that's putting pressure on their operating cash flows. They also have substantial amounts of debt that they might not be able to service. And so this pushes them to the zone of insolvency that attracts or makes them vulnerable to short interest by hedge funds trying to bet on their failure.
Yeah, we're just showing you a chart there. This year alone, AMC is up by almost 1,500%. Is this type of trading, though, an environment surrounding these stocks sustainable, or do we need to see some sort of regulatory intervention, given that there is a lot of noise that perhaps goes unchecked on platforms like Twitter and Reddit?
Yeah, there's certainly some, chatter on these platforms. It's very difficult as a regulator. I spent time as an economist at the Securities and Exchange Commission, and so certainly I'm cognizant of those challenges. I think when you see these types of returns or where stock prices seem to have diverged from fundamentals, there's certainly some regulatory concern, but really their tools are to make sure that the disclosures that are made and that the investors understand the risk. It's going to be very difficult to sort of monitor those platforms. But in the case of AMC, when you see those types of returns, some of it's financial restructuring. It's not only giving price support, but they've provided liquidity. They were able to float out even $1.25 billion in equity even in the second quarter of 2021. And so that's helped them financially restructure. And that's not something we typically see in companies that face their type of pressure.
What makes a good meme stock? You might not be able to comment necessarily on this, but a lot of people out there seemingly putting money into these names and seeing significant returns. We were just running through some of them. 1,500% year to date, 700% year to date. If you're looking for the next meme stock, how do you find these names?
Yeah, so if you try to sift through, websites like Wall Street Bets or on Reddit, it's very difficult because there's so many memes or emojis going by, and trying to identify this next meme stock is going to be challenging. I think the early academic research does show some tendencies. We do see, there's definitely chatter on social media, and we start to see some coordination in both code movement in the stock prices and trading volume. So I think those are factors that play into it. But I do think the sort of recognizable business model, one where there might be high levels of short interest or maybe some concerns about, financial solvency, those tend to be the stocks where we see retail investors coordinating and perhaps pushing up the prices.
Josh, it's Hadley in Dubai. As someone who gets sent memes on a hourly basis by my producer Emma, I have big questions about this. I mean, you're talking about the research here, and I know it's early days, but in terms of the psychological impact of the memes, I mean, is this going to be a situation, in your view, where in a couple of years we're going to be talking about, the sort of Facebook / Instagram impact on people of likes and things like that? Do you see that as something, as a potential headwind on down the road?
Yeah, thanks, Hadley. No, I think that is something that we can consider. I remember when, the episode first started earlier this year, we used the word unprecedented a lot, and we all thought it was maybe a temporary episode. But, some of the early research is showing that retail investors have staying power and they tend not to panic when prices come down. They were there during the pandemic and didn't panic. So I would not be surprised to see this sort of trend continue. I think we have an emergence of this new investor group, and they're excited. They have a much longer investment horizon than other investors. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see us be talking about this again, several months or even years from now.
Joshua White from Vanderbilt University, appreciate your insights today. Thanks very much for joining us on the show. Hadley, over to you.